everybody, I'm Chris and this is Luki Bike Adventures. I just wanted to do a quick video today, kind of getting everybody caught up on what we've been doing all summer long and how things went. Our season is pretty much over. I have possibly a couple more rides that may happen with a couple of new groups that I haven't worked with yet. But we're finished with American Indian Health and Family Services for the summer. We did their last ride with them about a week ago. Now that school started, we're probably not going to do anything with them for the fall. At least we don't have anything scheduled right now. But we did, I think we had like maybe 6 rides with them at different parks. Different metro parks, just kind of like I guess like a county or city park. I'm not sure what one of them is, but they have a really cool mountain biking skills course, and they also have a pump track, and then there's a pretty easy but also really nice trail. And so we went there last week, and man, it was so much fun. I mostly worked getting. There was a couple boys who didn't know how to ride a bike yet. They could ride with training wheels, but you can't do training wheels on a mountain biking trail. You can't do training wheels on a pump track or a skills course. You just really can't. So I've been working with a few of the kids to get them learning how to ride and get more comfortable on a bike. And we have a great volunteer named Stacy. She's one of my coworkers, and she is also a board member. But she's a ski instructor, an avid mountain biker and cyclist, and she was just great with the kids and worked with the ones who already knew how to ride, really building skills with them and building confidence with them. And then we'd go on rides together on the trail, and that was a blast. It was an absolute blast. Like back almost a year ago at this point, we're almost at the 1 year mark, and closed my eyes and envisioned this project and how it'd work out and what I wanted to do with these kids. Like what I envisioned the end result to be. Like this was it. This was absolutely it. Like I wanted the kids to be able to ride bikes and have fun and be excited about it. And even some of the kids who I didn't expect to get really into it seemed to really enjoy it and have a lot of fun. And there was one little boy in particular, man, he's small, but he is mighty. I was so impressed the way this kid, he was just flying and so fearless. And, he was doing little jumps. He was, there's this little, not little, but it's like a berm. It's a wooden berm, and it goes up pretty high. And, man, he was just going up that thing. Good amount of speed. I got a little bit scared for him a couple times, but he nailed it. It was so cool watching him do that. And there was a couple of older girls, teenagers, like I think they're like maybe 15, 16. And you never know about teenagers, especially teenage girls. Are you gonna think they're too cool to actually try? And but they were into it. They were having a blast. One of them, she kind of went off and did this feature. I don't remember exactly what it was, but we hadn't been going over that one because it looked a little bit trickier. We didn't think they were ready for it, and so we were working on this easier one. But she nailed the easy one, no problem. A lot of the other kids kind of struggled with it. I think all of them eventually got it, but it took them a few tries. She just nailed it. And then when we weren't really paying attention, she just went on and did the more difficult one and nailed that too. And I'm like, whoa, look at her go. Oh my God. I wasn't expecting that at all. And so, yeah, it was so much fun. And a few of the kids didn't have bikes, so I ended up giving them, let me see, I think maybe 5 of the kids were high interest, but didn't have a bike at home. One little girl in particular, she was having so much fun. She did such a great job, but she just kept crashing. She didn't know how to use the brakes, and apparently she had just learned how to ride, and she didn't have a bike. And that just seemed a massive shame to me for someone to enjoy it that much. And again, just fearless. She crashed so many times. At one point, she crashed into my son hard enough to pop his tire, and she flew over the handlebars, and she was wearing a dress, no less. Popped up, was like, I'm fine, kept going. Like nothing happened, just kept riding. Was annoyed that I wanted her to like work on braking with me a little bit. It's like, I'm fine, I can do it. I'm like, no you can't. So yeah, we ended up giving her a bike, and four of the boys, because they said they didn't have any, didn't have one, and so it was just fantastic. Before that, we went to, so that was Hines Park, that has the pump track and the skills course. And before that, we went to Stony Creek Metro Park, which has some awesome, fantastic, high level and entry level mountain biking trails. I think, like, I definitely have not been to every single mountain biking trail in Metro Detroit, but I've been to a few of them. And I believe Stony Creek is one of the higher rated ones of having like lots of really nice, fun trails. We just kind of did the beginner basic part. We spent a lot of time not even on the trail, just working on basic skills, because a lot of the kids, I would say none of them are high skilled in mountain biking particularly. A lot of them weren't even super confident just on a bike in general, just on flat ground. So we did spend a lot of time just building confidence just on the grass, on flat ground, in a big field basically. A lot of them didn't know how to shift. A lot of them didn't really know how to use the handbrakes. A lot of them were small. Most of the kids were small. There were some teenagers as well. But so we spent a lot of time doing that, and then we just did loops around this small, it's called the Grom Trail, I guess. And it's small, but it's nice because it's an easy trail. You can just kind of go around in circles. It's got a few features in it, and it's big enough where, they could ride, but small enough where you could stand in the middle of it and just kind of turn your head and see everybody. And so that was nice. And if you go on Instagram, I have a super short video. I had my GoPro on the bike, and I just I didn't even do the whole thing. I think it's just a tiny section of it. You just kind of see what that looks like. And so we had a lot of fun doing that. And I'm going backwards, I guess. We did a 3-day camping trip, which was amazing as well. That was really, really cool. We went to Kensington Metro Park. They have group campsites. It's right next to a river. Kensington Metro Park is very close to Island Lake, which has mountain biking trails, which also has a lake with a beach. Kensington doesn't have mountain biking trails, but they have paved trails. And they also have a gorgeous beach and a water park, and there's hiking trails and a petting zoo and a bunch of other, it's just a really, really nice park. It's one of my favorite parks. I've been going there since I was as long as I can remember. That was a park that my mom and grandma used to take us to every single summer, numerous times. I don't think it was quite every weekend, but we went there a lot. And it's a far drive, and my memories and experiences at Kensington are in large part what inspired me to start LukiBikes in the first place. So it was, I think, super appropriate for me to take the kids to that park. And that's where we spent the majority of our time in the camping trip. But man, that was a blast. It rained a lot, but we were able to ride a few miles to the beach. I let my son lead the ride, which he did a fantastic job. I think I really want to try to build leadership skills with him, and in part, boost his confidence, but it's also a good skill to have. And he did a fantastic job. And as he gets older, I certainly want him to kind of follow in my footsteps here and help out with this project more. And so he had a fantastic time. He had a whistle, he had a walkie-talkie. He, led this group of, 12 people or so. Most of them were kids, but some of them were also the adult youth leaders, because we worked. All this was with American Indian Health and Family Services youth group. So I provide the bikes and the fun, and they're responsible for the kids, transporting them and caring for them and all that. And so for all of our rides, we had at least, usually myself and Stacy as the mountain biking coaches, and then typically 3 to 4 more adults from American Indian Health and Family Services as, like, you know, taking care of the youth, chaperoning, kind of making sure they have all their needs met, and as far as like food and whatever else. So we have a pretty high ratio of, or maybe I guess low ratio of kid to adult. So everybody got a lot of attention, felt very safe, as safe as mountain biking can be, you know, because it is inherently risky, but it was fun, and there was definitely some crashes, but no serious injuries, nothing that a Band-Aid couldn't fix. And so yes, we rode our bikes. Nate led the group to the beach, and so that was, I don't remember now, I feel like maybe it was 5 or 6 miles, maybe something like that. We played at the beach for a while. They did some water aerobics. They just goofed off mostly, and we rode back. We had a night ride, and that was probably my favorite part because the kids were so excited for it. It was super short, like not even a mile, but just the, you know, being pitch black, and it was our first night as well, so they hadn't spent the night in the woods yet. It's pitch black. We put lights on the bikes, and just ride around on this campsite and on this dirt trail. It's the unknown, and it was fantastic. They had so much fun. It was so exciting. One little boy, "This is the best day ever! Oh my God!" Just having a blast. And so that was awesome. And then on our last full day there, we went mountain biking, and again, that was their first time mountain biking. We did some skill building first before we went, practicing just kind of, you know, some safety stuff, doing safety bike checks, how to body positioning, you know, how to stand over the bike and kind of keep your pedals level and balanced, that sort of stuff, like really just basic stuff. And then we took them on this trail. And again, it wasn't too far. I don't remember the mileage now. I think I have that stuff saved, but we rode to the beach, and man, as soon as we got there, clouds opened up and just torrential downpour, and there's lightning, and I think some of the kids were scared at first, but there was a shelter there, so we were in the shelter, and we were still getting wet because it was just blowing so hard that water was like spraying into the shelter. It was a pretty wild storm, and thankfully it didn't start until, man, we had just arrived when it happened. It was like Earth just waited, like, okay, are they there yet? Are they yet? Oh, okay, now. It was just instantaneous almost. And so some of the kids did seem to be a little bit scared at first, but we started making a game out of it, and as the lightning dialed down and the rain stopped a little bit, we started running out into the rain, and we're screaming and laughing and splashing in the puddles. Like, they got so much nature. They got so much everything. It was perfect. It was absolutely perfect. The amount of fun that we had, the amount of nature we got to experience just on that little trip. I also did a little bit of camping, outdoor survival skills with them, how to make a fire, making the little wood shavings to start a fire with a fire, like ferro rod. So we did a little bit of that as well. And of course, you know, s'mores. We had a ton of food. You know, we made pancakes, we had burgers, corn on the cob, which is all the stuff on the grill over the campfire. What else did we have? You know, sandwiches. Pretty sure there was hot dogs. There was a bunch of stuff. We had tacos. Yeah. It's fantastic. So that's what our summer's been. And then we've had other things like, you know, at the beginning of the summer, we had a few events with Girls Do Ride, doing some clinics with them on bike maintenance and whatnot. We've done group rides with other organizations. We did the bike giveaway with Downriver Foster Closet. That was all before the official riding season started. But then at the end of the season, we had a powwow with American Indian Health and Family Services. We just had set up a table at the powwow and got to hang out there. And so that was really nice. That was at the Wayne State soccer field. And that was, I believe that was their first powwow, I think they said. And the turnout was really nice. It was a very nice powwow. It was a beautiful day for it. I was telling people about the project that we're doing. Got some people interested in being volunteers. Got some people interested in wanting to do something similar with their, or not wanting to do something similar, but wanted to do something with us, whether a clinic or a ride or whatever. So I'm in talks with a couple of different people from there about maybe doing something possibly next year or maybe even this fall. I went and just kind of did some networking at the Tree Farm Relay Race, which seems super cool. That I'd never been to that, or actually any mountain biking race, because even though I enjoy mountain biking, I'm not competitive with it at all. I just kind of ride casually for fun. I never even considered competing with it, but this seems like a very casual, fun ride. It's organized by the Motor City Mountain Biking Alliance, I believe, and they recently, I don't know if they like combined with the League of Michigan Bicyclists, and so they are an organization. Well, League of Michigan Bicyclists is an organization that improves cycling for everybody in the state of Michigan. Whether it's bike safety and awareness, requesting bike lanes and different policies. They're kind of an advocacy group, I guess you could say. And the Motor City MCMBA is they're definitely focused on mountain biking, but they do like a lot of trail maintenance and things like that. They've got a cool website that has trail conditions, which is nice to look at. Check that out. So we became a member with them. I talked with those guys. They're interested in maybe doing some stuff with us as well, helping out in growing the program. And after meeting those guys and seeing this race that seems like it's a race, but it's a fun race. You know, you don't have to be super competitive and highly skilled and you know super fast times and all that. It's a 10-mile race, so it is. You have to be in shape. You got to have some skill to it, but you know, it's not like a serious race. People are dressed up in costumes and things like that, and there's lots of food, and it seemed like a fun race. And I really, for next year, want to get a team together. Ideally 2 teams. I'd like to have 2 teams. A little kid team and a big kid / adult team. Because it's a relay race, you're supposed to have 4 people. So if I can get 2 teams together for next year's race, like that's my goal. And that's a big goal because we have a few things that are working against us. One, the kids are not very skilled. So that is going to take some work. I don't think any of them are ready for a 10-mile ride at all. Certainly not a mountain biking ride, and certainly not like in a race format. So we have a lot of work to get to them to that point. Also, the bikes that we have are, I did my best, guys. The bikes that we got, they looked beautiful. Like a lot of them were beat up old bikes when I got them, and I cleaned them, I polished them. You put new tires, new grips, a new seat, new cables. A lot of them, not all, new chain. I put all new parts, as much as they needed to get these bikes looking. They look so good. Even the ones that were kind of scratched up. You put that new stuff on it, the scratches on the frame, and it's clean. I don't know. It seems fine. Like the bikes looked amazing. So many of the kids just seemed so excited to ride them, and That's exactly what I wanted. That look in their eyes when they saw the bikes, it was like, yeah! Like, nobody was kind of like, yeah, this bike? Like, no, they look good. They function better than when they were brand new. A lot of them had better components on them than when they were brand new. And they still just weren't really great. The kids still kind of struggled, especially going on hills. Just because very few of them were actual mountain bikes. And so, like, the gearing ratios and the geometries of the bikes just weren't correct for it. A lot of them, some of them were heavy because they're just inexpensive bikes, so they don't have aluminum frames or steel. They got big, heavy rims. They're just not designed for that. A few of them had coaster brakes, which is also not ideal. I put hand brakes on as much as I could. Some of them didn't really have good mounting spots for hand brakes, like V-brakes or whatever. And so, or either they just had it on the front but not the back. So there was a lot of things that really, some of the kids were definitely hindered by the bike that they were on. Most of the kids just didn't have the skill level regardless of what bike they were on. So that is something that we're definitely going to have to work on, getting nicer bikes, at least 4 to 8 of them for the team, and also getting the kids' skill level up. American Indian Health and Family Services, super happy with the program, said that they want to do it again next year, and I'm all for it. We're going to do it bigger and better next year, just because we have more information and we already have a lot of the stuff that we need in place, a lot of the bikes already. We're going to need more bikes, especially since I gave some away, but I've got all winter to work on that. So I'm not too stressed about that. But I do want to get better bikes for the kids, at least the ones who are going to be racing and the ones who are a bit more into it. And I do want to expand this out to more organizations because it was amazing. It was fun. It was everything that I wanted it to be. And I loved working with this one particular group, but I think we could also work with a couple more groups. You know, it doesn't have to be just these guys. I think this is something that we could offer to more groups. And so yeah, that's kind of planned for next year and for this year even. So the big goal for over the winter is I still have some bikes that need to be repaired that I never got around to. So I'm going to continue fixing those up, so we'll have more bikes that we can either give away or use as we need for our groups. And I've got to work on fundraising. I applied to several grants and I didn't get any of them, which kind of sucks, but I actually don't know how to write grants, and I didn't spend a ton of time on it because I was just trying to get things off the ground. There were so many moving parts, so many things that I had to do, and so I would apply to these grants, and I didn't get them, but you know, experience. And I think it will be easier now because before it was like, this is what we want to do, this is what we're trying to do, versus now I could say this is what we did and here's how we're going to improve on it and for next year. So we've got pictures, we've got a better idea how much things cost, how much time they take, everything that needs to happen. And so I think that'll make planning for next year easier, and also getting some grants and stuff for next year easier. I also want to get more endorsements and whatnot, or sponsorships, partnerships, whatever you want to call it. We have Petri Bikes, which is awesome, bike shop in Woodhaven, Michigan, who has helped us get all of these bikes fixed up. They've also donated numerous bikes to us. They donated, I'm not sure how many. I want to say maybe 6 to 8 bikes to us. And some of them are really, really nice bikes. I would say the nicer bikes they have, most of them were donated to us by Petri Bikes. And they've given us the hookup on lots of parts and knowledge and everything to get these bikes all fixed up. So that's awesome. Comet Cycle helped us out financially immensely, and also helped us kind of spread the word and get support in what we're doing. So that has been a huge help as well. We had some donations from Yakima, gave us the roof rack, or not roof rack, the rooftop box that we've been using. And man, has that thing has been so helpful. I'm able to keep the helmets, all of our, like, we've got these booklets, these safety booklets that the League of Michigan Bicyclists gave to us that have been passing out to pretty much everybody about bike safety and the law, and we've got them in 3 different languages, which came in really handy because we were building some connections at Academy of America's elementary school, which is the bilingual school in Southwest Detroit. It's predominantly Latino. They speak Spanish and English, and so we got books in English and Spanish, and we're passing them out to them, and we're probably going to be doing some more stuff with them as well. Nothing officially yet, though. And then most recently, Revelate Designs sent us a bunch of bags. I did a video on them, I think last week, showed them all the bags that they sent us, because I also want to get into bike packing with the kids. That's something I'd like to introduce next year, to go on a bike packing trip. And so I think that'll be awesome. And I actually reached out to Revelate because a lot of the kids' bikes don't have bottle holders, and we had adults there who, you know, didn't have a good way to carry their keys or their phone. There's one kid in particular who I know has asthma and an inhaler, and to be able to just carry that type of stuff with you, just having a bunch of little bags is going to make that easier. Unfortunately, you know, we got that late in the season, so we didn't get to use them very much, but that's something that we'll be able to implement for next year for sure, especially like on a camping trip. That would have been really helpful. So just more stuff, more riding, more experiences, more skills. You know, this year was definitely just the beginning. We are absolutely going to do this again next year. You know, before I wasn't sure, like, how is this going to go? How is it going to play out? Is this something that we're going to continue doing, or is this just going to be a one-time thing and then I'm done with it? Absolutely not. We're definitely doing this again next year if it is at all possible. I mean, assuming I don't, like, get into a car accident or something because I'm shooting a video while I'm driving. I don't know. Keeping my eyes on the road though, so it's fine. But yeah, so it's I'm excited. I'm excited for next year. I'm super pumped about how well things went this year. Gonna keep asking you guys for your support, and whether it's a like or a subscribe or a comment or a financial donation is fantastic. But even better, if you want to volunteer with us, we could always use some more help in various ways. If you know how to write a grant, please reach out to me, because that is definitely a weak link here. That is not a skill set that I have. We also been getting t-shirts. I found a local printer, a Native American guy who prints and really good prices. So we've got another run of t-shirts and even hoodies coming very soon. So I feel like a lot of cool stuff is happening. I'm super excited, and thank you all who have helped make this happen. I will try to get back to making videos more regularly now that things are slowing down a little bit. And I'm working on, you know, doing some editing with the videos. And I'll see if I can make that happen, make some cooler, more fun videos that are more enjoyable to watch than maybe this. So thank you so much, everybody who's helped out, and like and subscribe. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram. I post there far more frequently, especially since a lot of stuff is just photos, more so than here. And stay tuned for more. All right, catch you in the next video.